Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. Yeah, sorry about my hair. I tied it up to wash my face this morning and then never did anything about it. So, if it's annoying you, tough. Anyway, so we're back to talk about what I watched in September. So, I wouldn't say it's that much different from last month in August. But, you know, we did start 2 new shows this month. So I started Prodigal Son and Lovecraft Country. Really enjoying both shows. So we'll start with Prodigal Son. I've watched the first 10 episodes, something like that. So we're coming up to the mid-season at the moment, and I'm really enjoying it. It's pretty much a procedural cop show, but there is a lot of their own storyline running through it. So basically, it's about this guy. His dad's a serial killer, and basically he comes in as a profiler to the police force, and he starts using his dad to help out. But there's a lot of stuff in his past that he's starting to unlock in his mind, kind of thing, because he's had such a troubled life because of what his dad did. And so a lot of that runs through it, and now we've got some really good parts where turns out there's an apprentice from. I don't think that's much of a spoiler, to be fair, but yeah, there's an apprentice from his dad, so they're trying to catch him now. So it's a nice thing that's kind of running through. And Lovecraft Country, I'm really enjoying that because it's like the 5th of October now. So I've been watching a lot more of Lovecraft Country this month. Very fitting as well since it's spooky season. So yeah, I've been watching that and it's so good. I'm pretty much obsessed with it at the moment. So it's basically a horror supernatural series. So it's about this guy went to go find his dad, but turns out there's a whole history of like all these different things. So you've got like different magical creatures, you've got shape shifting, and we haven't really found out that much so far. But every episode, I kind of think it's like a homage to different kind of horrors. But it's based on H.P. Lovecraft's stories, but there's another set of stories by someone else based on H.P. Lovecraft, and so the TV series is based on them books. And honestly, it's so good. The acting's brilliant. It's filmed like it's a film, not a TV series as well, and it's so good. I don't want to give too much away because I feel like if I give too much of the plot away, it will spoil bits. But no one's talking about this show, and they really should be because it's so good. So yeah, if you do get a chance, make sure you check it out. It's on Now TV up until the 18th of November. Or Sky, either one. I don't know where it'll be going after that. It might not be going anywhere. But yeah, we're getting it pretty much the day after America, I think, as well. So it's definitely worth the watch. It's a HBO show, so definitely check it out because it's so good. So I almost forgot about this one. How to Get Away with Murder finished this month. Well, I watched the last one in September, and I was a bit on the fence about the end. I did really like it, but then I also didn't like it. So I don't really want to put any spoilers in here, but I loved the ending with like Bonnie and Frank and all that. Oh, you weren't expecting it. Didn't know if it fit too much, but it was a good ending. But then you've got the ending part of what you saw throughout the series, you know, like the flashbacks and stuff. I didn't like what that turned out to be because where you was watching it, you kind of thought something else, which is what it was going for anyway. I just didn't like the outcome of it. But yeah, overall, and actually a very good ending to what is a great series, really. So that was good. So definitely check that out. It's all on Netflix if you haven't seen it. So yeah, definitely go for that. So last month I thought I'd be able to finish Bones this month, but I got a little bit tired of it. So I finished season 8 and I watched season 9. I've still got like 3 more left to season 9, I think, and it just got to the point where I was like, I've watched too much of this now. Bearing in mind, I'd been non-stop binging Bones from about season 4 all the way to 9. And I always think with big like binges, you need to watch a bit, go off and watch something else, and then come back. So that's what I've kind of done with Bones. I've put it on hold a little bit because I was getting a bit like, I don't want to watch anymore right now. And it's not so much that the storyline was getting it, but you just do sometimes get sick of watching the same thing over and over. So even though it's still great, I have put it on hold for a little bit and moved on to some other bits. So I did originally start back on CSI New York because season 2 started showing on, I think it's CBS Justice I recorded it on. I can't remember. But that started, season 2 came back on the way around, so I'm watching that again because I recorded season 1 like a year and a half ago. Watched season 1 and then season 2 didn't show, so now that's back on. So I went back to that, but I've only watched about 2 episodes. So I will be going back to that. But I mean, it's CSI, it's just standard. Everyone knows what it's like. It's great background TV or not using your brain TV kind of thing. So it's good to just go on in the background. But it has been a month of a lot of cop shows for me because I've also gone back to Blue Bloods, which originally I was gonna do a big binge of that before I started Bones again, but you know, I went to Bones and got obsessed with Bones for a while. So back on Blue Bloods, I'm about a quarter of the way through season 2 now. I do think the storylines are starting to link together a bit, which is good. And I always find that even with like cop shows and things like that, the more you get to know the characters, the more things kind of run through the season. So I'm definitely starting to see a little bit of that, but I'm still enjoying it. I do feel like it's one of them shows that I'm going to get super, super invested in once I get to about season 5 or something. But I'm still enjoying it. I watch like one episode every now and then. So I've done a handful of episodes this month. But it's what I go to after I've kind of stopped watching everything. But Prodigal Son and Lovecraft Country kind of took over this month. So definitely been watching more of that. So season 4 of Younger started as well. And oh my god, we're on such a cliffhanger at the moment. More episodes are on tonight. And oh my god, the cliffhanger, I kind of know what happens anyway because where I searched it up before I watched it. Because there's like 6 seasons out in America already and we're only on season 4 over here. But the cliffhanger, oh my god, like Charles and Liza, they need to get together. Yeah, if you haven't watched Younger, you're going to have to find it somewhere, probably illegally, because I can't, other than Now TV, you can't find it anywhere, and it's only got like season 4 on there at the moment. So yeah, you will have to look for it. But oh my god, it's like a rom-com in a TV show, and I love it so much. It brings me back to like when I was a teenager, like because everybody loves a rom-com. Well, not everyone. A lot of people hate rom-coms, but I do love a rom-com, especially if they're well done. And yeah, so it's definitely worth a watch. So basically, Younger is about a girl, or a woman. She's in her 40s, pretends to be in her 20s, and that's what runs through the series. And where we are, a few people know the secret, a few people don't. And yeah, there's a lot of like, will they, won't they, and things like that. But it's also produced. It's produced, I think, by Darren Star, who did Sex and the City. So I really want to go back and watch that. But he's also got a new show called Emily in Paris, which came out like last week, and I really want to watch that as well. And that's on Netflix. So hopefully next month you might see if I had some thoughts on that. Last Man Standing came back, and they keep swapping the channels, and I'm getting really confused. Luckily, when I record things on Virgin, it just picks up anything new on any of the channels. I have my settings to do that because I know what things are like. So Last Man Standing is now back at Comedy Central Extra. So they're showing 2 episodes every night on a weekday, season 8. So I've watched the first 6. I like Last Man Standing, but it's not the greatest show in the world. It's not. I grew up watching Home Improvement, and that was like one of my favourite sitcoms, like growing up. And it's not that. If you compare it to that, it's not that. But Tim Allen is funny. But I think some of the cast aren't great. I think it's the new actress that plays Mandy. She's not the old actress. Like, she's not as good as the old actress. And not only that, they completely changed the way she looked. Like, they didn't even get someone that was similar to her. You could tell it was a different person. If you just tuned in after watching a few old episodes and then all of a sudden tuned into the new ones, it's not the same. But they did make jokes towards it and things like that. So they didn't just ignore it. They did go like, oh, you look a bit different. Like, they played on that kind of thing. But I don't think she's as good for the character, because I feel like they changed her character's personality a bit as well. But it's still a good fun show to watch. It's something to like kind of watch in the background, or if you just want something just that's happy and doesn't really involve you too much, that it's a good watch for that. And that's why I watched it. It's just something fun. So you don't always need something serious. Sometimes you need something just to make you giggle, and that's what Last Man Standing is for me. So the last show is actually another sitcom that I've been watching. That came back. The whole thing is on BBC iPlayer, but because I watch so much, I'm happy to just watch the one new episode that comes out every week in like dribs and drabs. So it's Ghosts. Ghost is such an underrated British sitcom and I love it. So basically, if you've watched like Horrible Histories, Yonderland, it's written by the same Horrible Histories group. And so it's basically about these two young adults. One of the women, she's inherited this like massive house from an aunt that she never knew, I think it was. And she's inherited this massive house. And in the first episode, she dies, but obviously comes back to life. And all of a sudden she can see the ghosts that live in the house. So basically it's about them trying to do up that house but while living with all these ghosts, and it is so funny. It's a family show. There's a couple of like more grown up jokes in it, little bits like that. But it's a family show. I think they show it at like 8 o'clock on BBC One or 2 or something like that. But it's also all on iPlayer, so I definitely recommend checking that one out because it's just funny. If you did like things like Horrible History and Yonderland, it's 100% up your street. It is literally fun for the whole family, and I think that's why BBC quite like putting that one out, because everyone can watch it. It's not scary or anything, it is literally just fun and it is funny. Yeah, so that is what I've watched this month. Well, last month, September, because it's October now. But yeah, that is what I watched. I did kind of get stuck in a rut like mid-month and I was just waiting for the new stuff to come out. But yeah, if you want to check any of them out, check them out. Especially younger, you will have to find it somewhere. You'll probably have to not do illegal means of it and go elsewhere. But yeah, Ghost is one I highly recommend. Lovecraft Country, you have to check that one out. Prodigal Son's amazing, and also I'm just going to preach about Younger 100 times over because it is fabulous. So hopefully in this month there'll definitely be more Prodigal Son, more Lovecraft Country, Ghost, Younger, Last Man Standing, because obviously they're just coming out weekly and I'm watching them. But I'm actually hoping to finish The Last of Vampire Diaries. So I started Vampire Diaries when it came out 100 years ago, basically, when they first started showing that on ITV2. Yeah, I've been watching it since then, and then because I used to watch it with my family, when I moved out I kind of stopped watching it because I was like, I'll go back and watch it with them, and I just never got around to it. So I've still got series 7 and 8 to watch. But it's coming off of Netflix on November 1st, so I do need to catch up with that. And I'm probably going to start season 7 after filming this. So yeah, I'm going to watch season 7. I need to kind of remember what's going on because I haven't watched it for a very long time. And I am hoping to watch Emily in Paris. And I'm also hoping to watch the new Adam Sandler film, Hubie Halloween. I think it's called Hubie Halloween. I don't know how you pronounce it, but it's the new Halloween film with Adam Sandler in it. It's got a massive cast. Definitely check out the trailer because it looks so funny. I mean, a lot of Adam Sandler films like in his later career have been a bit of a flop, but you've got to think how good some of the older ones were as well. So I'm definitely going to check that one out, especially because it's like this kind of season. I might also be watching some like Halloween films. It's not really something I go for. I do like a horror film, but because I'm more TV series based, unless like something comes out that I really want to watch, I don't really bother, unless it's like Saw or Final Destination, or I suppose I'm a bit impartial to a slasher up. I don't know why. But yeah, anyway, so hopefully watch a few Halloween films, like maybe some like family ones, because I haven't really watched any of them other than like Haunted Mansion and things like that, and like Twitches. So we can have like family nights and watch them. So I don't know, but we'll find out. Maybe I'll do some more videos during the week. I have got 2 more that I'm probably going to upload before this. But yeah, give this video a thumbs up if you want me to do more. Comment below what you guys have been watching, if any of you are watching this. Yeah, and see you in the next video if I do one. Bye.